Hi everybody, this is Ernie, and this is Ernie's Eye View. You know, America, we're getting a little closer to socialism than we think, and probably closer than we want to be. The other day, a friend of mine asked me, he said, Ernie, how far are we in America away from being a socialist country? Not far, actually, not far at all. Look at some of the 2020 Democratic presidential candidates. That should give you a hint. Socialism has been around for a long time. The few accomplishments of socialism are poverty, anarchy, and destruction of social norms, to name but a few. Most people who have taken the time to read and learn about socialism know that it has never worked anywhere, and it has caused the deaths and disappearance of hundreds of millions of human beings. History has informed us about people like Hitler, Stalin, Mao, even Castro, and a host of other murdering socialists, but we have an infestation of mind-numbing socialists right here in our own country right now, and they're looking for yet another failing state of socialism, the socialistic America. Looking back a bit, it's easy to identify the socialists who are eating away at our rights and freedoms. Take, for example, some of the visitors that went to the Obama White House during his occupancy at 1600 Pennsylvania. Let's begin with our leading anti-American, Jew-hating socialist, Louis Farrakhan. There's a really good American citizen. Then you can add Bill Ayers, the bombing hippie from the past in the Muslim Brotherhood, Jeremiah Wright, Al Sharpton, Black Lives Matter, and you get a pretty good idea of some of the people that went to see Mr. Obama. You get a little clearer image of Obama and who he was. But you know, Obama is still working in the shadows to remove our duly elected president, President Trump. He's the only ex-president to ever speak against another president. Another bit of his legacy. And now, in concert with Obama and holdovers from his administration, we have people like Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, and most all radical leftists, including a majority of Hollywood. And with George Soros' funding, the whole impeachment movement, I'd say we have a pretty good battle coming up here in America. Pretty good battle coming up in our future. Hopefully, this battle will be at the ballot box and not in our streets and cities and towns. All the big-time socialists like Stalin, Hitler, so on and so forth, learned that if you divide a country, you can use racism, religion, ethnicity, and then take away all forms of self-defense. You can rule a country with little or no backlash. You take all that away from them. Most countries infected by socialism and Marxism are really on the road to full-blown communism. They're very closely related. Total control of what citizens say and do, where they work, and where they play, are all controlled by the so-called cream of the crop, the elite, the people in charge, anybody, the radical rich, the powerful elite. That's true communism. We're surrounded by socialist activists like Antifa, ACLU, the Southern Poverty Law Center, and socialist wannabes like our millennials and so-called democratic socialists. And remember, there's not much democratic sentiment in the word democratic socialism. It doesn't have a whole lot to do with the kind of democracy that we're used to. Look at our high schools. There's a good example. Look at our high schools and our college students. They no longer want to hear about the Second World War because it upsets them. Can you imagine that? Being upset reading about your history? That history in the Second World War didn't do anything other than just change the entire world. Seriously, we're all laughing at Bernie Sanders, but we must not dismiss this guy or people like him. He's the current choice of the millennial crowd right now, and most of these types are undereducated college kids who think that socialism is a ride to free stuff. They will vote socialist because they're predominantly lazy and self-serving spoiled little kids with small values and very little concern about the future of this country, or the future of America as we know. Then you add into the mix most of our teachers and professors who are so far left and socialist bent that the average student is taught that all of our founding fathers, all of them, were creepy old white men who owned thousands of slaves each, and that the Constitution is outdated and was written for old white men and no one else, just old white guys like me. If we Americans want to give in to this socialism, and allow the Ilhan Omars, the Ocasio-Cortezes, and the Talibs, and the Sanders, and the Warrens to get into our lives and our laws, the election of 2020 may well be the last election we have in this country. Oh, so my thoughts are this, America. Get involved, get active in your local government, in your city government, school boards, whatever you got to get interested in. We need more conservatism in there, and we need to fight this socialist agenda that's coming upon us really, really fast. We do not want Sharia law in this country, socialism or Marxism, to ruin the great experiment of a really democratic republic like we have. And don't believe the other ones. This is a democratic republic. So God bless America, God bless President Trump, and God bless the United States of America and all of her citizens. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.